if you're Canadian and you're looking at flying on one of the discount airlines to Mexico or within Canada, I recently flew on Swoop Airlines, and I want to tell you what my experience was like because I was surprised. So first off, our fares were dirt cheap. We flew from Abbotsford, British Columbia to Mazatlan, Mexico, and the total was $550 total for 2 people. I mean, this is insane, right? Now, you do pay extra for your carry-on bags, $35 if you book it in advance. And then we also paid for seat selection, and we wanted to be up front at the beginning of the flight on the way south so that we could get off the plane fairly easily, and also so that we would be first on the plane so we could stow our bags above, because you always know what a battle that is. And so those were $50 per seat. And I think the prices went down from there, but not significantly. So we didn't feel like we were really getting gouged. I mean, yes, those prices do add up. Now, flying out of Abbotsford, I'd never done that before. And so I didn't arrive quite as early as I would have had I been flying out of Vancouver International. I think we got there about 2.5 hours ahead of time. Had already checked in, didn't have to check luggage. All we had to do was get through security. So you can understand how that would compress your administrative time and your waiting time. Go through security, pick it up on the other side, and voila, you're in the waiting area. It was as simple as that. They do have sort of a grab-and-go snack center. You know, to put it in perspective, a tuna croissant was like $13. So it's not cheap, but they do have hot coffee, which you can get. Bring your empty bottle. They have a filling station there, so it doesn't have to cost you anything to get a bottle of water for your flight. Now, when we went to board our flight, we had to go outside, down the stairs, and then up the walkway onto the plane. So do bear that in mind if you're mobility challenged, bad knees, that kind of thing. I mean, we all suffer from time to time. So if you can do it a little bit, that's fine. But if it's really going to pain you to get on the plane that way, that's something to consider. But we got on the plane. It was great. We took off on time, actually a little bit early, if I recall correctly. And the in-flight service, now they're changing what they have available for options, but they had some little snacks and some medium-sized snacks, and those were actually really reasonably priced. The alcoholic drinks, on the other hand, and the non-alcoholic drinks, you pay for everything. You want a bottle of water, you're paying. You want a glass of juice, you're paying. You want a 7-Up, you're paying. The beers were, I think, $8. And if you wanted a glass of wine or a Prosecco, it was $10. So sometimes you can cheat a little bit off that by doing a drink and snack combo. When we landed in Mazatlan, again, a very, very small airport. So we climbed down the stairs and into the airport, in through customs with our bags and everything. Probably 11 minutes, I would say, from landing, getting into the airport to the outside of the next. And they do have a place where you can get a taxi. You have to go it's not inside the airport, it's sort of inside, just before you exit into the fresh air. There is a taxi counter. The same as in 𝖣뚜𝖾, if you've ever been to that airport. You have to prepay for your ride, and that will take you straight to your hotel. Alternatively, you're going to need to pre-arrange some transportation, and sometimes that's cheaper, sometimes it's more. If you want a shared transfer, if you don't mind that, it's very inexpensive, but you're stopping at hotels along the way. So especially if you're staying at the 𝖨, it's one of the farthest out all-inclusive resorts. It's going to take you a long time. Like, took us about 40 minutes to get from the airport to the hotel. On a shared transfer, I'd say you'd be looking at an hour and a half at a minimum. Now, I should point out that on the way down to Mexico, our plane was very, very empty. It was a 737 MAX, so it's got the brand new seats, very nice. And there is no in-flight entertainment. There's no Wi-Fi or anything like that. So do, preload your Netflix or your YouTube videos. Hey, you could download a bunch of my YouTube videos and watch them on the plane. Now, the lucky thing was we booked an aisle and a window seat, hoping, of course, for the empty middle seat. And every once in a while you get lucky. Well, as I say, the 737 MAX probably would hold on average about 180 seats, 180 passengers. And our flight had 54. So as you can imagine, it was pretty empty. We had an empty seat in front of us. We had an empty seat behind us. It was very comfortable. And then on the way home, honestly, I think there was even less. We were in row 9, so we were in the cheap seats. nobody else joined our row. Again, the plane was super empty. Had a great experience with Swoop. Would I fly them again? Absolutely. But you know, why not give them a try? For those kind of prices, you can't go wrong. Find yourself a cheap and cheerful hotel to stay at, and you just got yourself a very inexpensive vacation. So there you go. That was Swoop. I really enjoyed it and highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And we'll see you on the next one.